And it's been 3 years. Isn't that crazy? And
Yeah.
you've been on your own journey too.
I've been strolling around, bro. It's been a journey since we started out that idea 3 years ago now. That was
3
crazy,
years.
dude. I actually remember that. I can recall that pretty well when, you guys came up with the name and
Right.
stuff started to just, really start rolling. And then I remember it was you and I were like thinking about, what should we do for our first launch episode and everything. And I think it was cool. I think Kylene, that was when she threw the launch party.
The launch party.
And we dropped the first couple episodes. That was
First five.
First
Do you
five.
remember when it was Jordan T, Josh Heinrichs, and Skillenjaw? That was the very first recording.
I do remember
that was
that.
before we had these things.
Yeah, for sure. That was Trench Fest time, and then I think we were working together at the time. You were the stage manager for
Right.
Trench Fest, and I we were talking about like podcasting and ideas for podcasting, and I was like, hey, why don't you interview these guys about
Right.
music? And you're like, yeah, let's do it. And sure enough, we were sitting down recording and talking to people that we listened to growing up.
Dude,
and
yeah, man.
influenced us in music. So that was what a way to start, huh?
Yeah, I listened to those first maybe like 30 some episodes, and man, I cringed just because it's not that we were bad at it. It's, you can tell that
We were reaching.
we were reaching. We didn't really know exactly what we were doing with it, and I just felt like we were. It was a good excuse for us to get together and talk to people, right?
Sure, it was a good thing, and the original platform. And I'm glad to see that you're sticking to it. The ideas that we first came up with the show is really reflecting everything that we set out to do in the beginning. And
Yeah.
man, I'm sorry that one of my projects drew me away from you and Master Random.
Well, extremely understandable, right? Look where you're at today with that single project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that became really interesting.
Yeah, because that was 3 years in the making too, and let's go into that. What was, going into it, what did you feel was the biggest challenge? And when you were getting the ball rolling, did it feel as much as a challenge anymore?
Honestly, when I first got into it, you remember I was even asking you, I was like, boo, I have no idea what I'm doing.
We were sitting outside the office.
Yeah, we were sitting outside the office, and I was like, dude, I don't know how to do this. I know nothing about managing a band. I know nothing about the music industry. All I know is that if I wanted to do it, I could do it. And so, we jumped on the plane, 3 weeks later, and we went on our first tour. And
Right.
Jeez, dude, that was far back, and just to see how
Just
far.
pull the mic down just a little bit, just so I can see your face.
I can see you now. No, so yeah, man, that first tour, I think we went out with Expanders and a couple people on that run, and that was
a small sort of West Coast tour, right?
Yeah, it was just feeling out the operation. Could we do it? And we put together 15 shows, and we went out and paid for our own plane tickets, and dude, we crushed it.
Yeah.
Like, people were ecstatic to see us, and it was surprising to see that a lot of people actually knew our music on the West Coast. So it was crazy to see the boys, go out there and believe in their own dreams and have me along for the ride, and
Right.
and believe in me knowing nothing. And
Right,
just,
and everything worked, right? I told you, let them focus on the music. Anything that's not music is probably you, right?
my job. and at this point, it's still crumbling down like that. Yeah, man. I try to, encourage the boys to stay focused on the music. And then, this year we've added a couple people to the team, and it's probably, a good indication of how far we've come as a band and how far we've come as a business. Like, we picked up a general manager from the States, Steven Donovan. He's formerly Tribal Seeds' tour manager, Michael Franti's guy, and he is a beast at what he does for lighting and stage and managing and networking. And so we're glad to have him on board. And this guy linked up with us twice in Denver,
Right.
twice in 1 year, and surprised us out of nowhere and came to watch our show. And
Yeah.
we ended up really vibing with this guy. And we're having a conversation one day, and he's like, hey Chris, is there anything we can do together? I was like, yeah. I was like, what do you want to do? I was like, you want to jump on our team? And he's like, I would love to. I believe in Four Pieces music, and I know the boys are great musicians.
What do you think it is that gravitates people to Four Pieces music?
I think
from I guess not being a creator of the music, but being around the music all the time,
Mhm.
and seeing the people I guess from an outside perspective,
react to it.
Right, react to it.
You know, it's really interesting, dude, because we've been around the country this last year. We were able to go with Fortunate Youth out on the road for their CD release tour, and it was 52 shows, 10 weeks. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into, but you know what? Some Chamorro boys, we got in the van and we drove across the country and we crushed 52 shows, and we came back knowing that, holy cow, we can do this. Like, we can be on the road with, you know, these big American reggae bands, and you know how the music like ties into that is, it's crazy because our sound is so different, dude. Like, you know, California has
compared
a typical
to California reggae.
Yeah, right. And just the way the boys arrange the music transition wise and lyrics,
extremely dynamic.
It's crazy, and their harmonies are really, you know, in sync. And then especially after they get the first few shows under their belt and they start getting tighter and tighter, sometimes I stand there on the side of the stage like, holy cow, that was my band. Like, that was dirty. Holy moly. Like, I just be like cringing, and I'll see everyone's face in the crowd and they'll be like, wowed, you know?
Right.
And so the music, it's been received really well across the whole entire United States. Hawaii is one of our biggest markets. We got a huge following there. We got a huge following in California. And then surprisingly, because we ventured out to the East Coast, we're seeing so many numbers come out of the East Coast, and people tagging us on Facebook and Instagram being like, hey, you got to make it to Chicago.
Right,
or,
you guys
hey.
had a big show in Florida, right?
Yeah, that was Janice Live. Dude, one day you have to come and see this place. It's in a town, I think it's St. Petersburg, and it's literally a stage in the middle of like a square, and then inside the square is like a big spot for people, and it's like balconies all over the side, and it's free. It's a free show. And, you know, the vendors and everybody, all the surrounding bars make money off the people buying drinks, and we make money off people buying merch. But, you know, we get a straight up talent fee for just because it's a free show. And I think when we played with Fortunate Youth, I think there was like at least 3,500, 4,000 people there, and it was nuts. And
that's like a normal Guam
crowd,
super packed Guam crowd, right?
Yes, exactly.
And that's a normal crowd for them.
For them, they fit that into, you know, St. P's Janice Live little arena every time. Like, and it's interesting to see that venue, and Four Piece, we always want to go back there. If we ever get invited back to St. P, we're going, bro, because that place is really cool.
How far off do you guys think you are from headlining your own tour? Pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but I mean, at this point, where we are is we're like opening band, about to break into direct support.
Okay,
I'd say by the end of the year would be you know, surrounding some good direct support with some people, you know, some names that people from Guam will really start to, you know, familiarize themselves with, and they're gonna know. They're gonna know soon enough.
Where you think Four Piece will be synonymous with any California reggae band or American reggae band, right?
It's gonna be along the side. You know, we're gonna be up there with the big names, and I'd say give us 2-3 years. We're gonna be there, and everyone's committed to making this work and making it work not only for us, but this is for Guam too. You know, like these guys, I see them. And, you know, we duck our heads and we go out there and we represent humbly every time. And you know, sometimes we're not feeling it, and sometimes we are feeling it, and sometimes the crowd's not feeling it. But at the end of the day, we drove this far, we came this far to play. And so we always remind ourselves that we got to crush everywhere we go, because we have to show everyone that, dang, these boys from Guam, you know?
What's the gel that holds the team together, especially when you're on tour, right? You guys are stuck with each other for 3 months, 2 to 3 months, and of course it's not going to be perfect roses and romance, right?
It's definitely not. I mean, you know, I think what drives us is every time we play a good show and get a good reaction from the crowd. Like, it could take someone walking up to you and be like, wow, RJ, that was the most incredible guitar solo I've ever seen. And, you know, it'll make RJ's night. And, you know, he's glowing, and, you know, like it feels so good. Even for me as a manager, it feels so good to see people like react like that to the band. And I think that's what honestly keeps us going, is that we know that there's something out there for us. There's something more to be had. And so we keep going back.
Right.
Yeah, it's there for us. And then if we set it up good and we do the formula right, I hope that we'll be one day able to extend it to other bands on Guam that are ready right behind us, you know, because there's no denying it, dude. This place has talent. There's kids in Pneumatic. Sure. There's kids in Jigo that could sing to the top of their lungs. There's even guys that sing like Whitney Houston here, you know, they got,
they're all playing out of the bars.
Yes, they are. Yeah. And that was the one thing that I'm kind of glad that I pulled on 4-Piece. I dragged them out of the bar, dude, and I think that was probably one of the, you know, the best things we did. Like right now they're playing at Cheers, and you know, they've been doing that just to, you know,
keep the chops up.
Yep, keep the chops up, practice, you know, and it's kind of like, you know, a paid practice. And so and thank you to Jose and those guys for letting us, you know, play and vibe over there with the people of their establishment. And you know, it's awesome, but I didn't want that for them. I didn't want them to be, hey, come check 4-Piece band with beer on special. Like,
yeah, but it's not like they can go on tour at any moment, right? It definitely takes months of planning.
So that's like the thing now is what it came down to. The boys had to make a decision. What do you want to be? Do you want to be a bar band, or do you want to be a lounge band, or do you want to be a touring band? And so we all came to the conclusion that we're in this. We love it. Yeah. This is who we are. This is what we do. And it's even allowed me to come into my own and you know, figure out, like, you know, I'd always thank 4-Piece for this, because they turned me into an animal I've never thought I'd become, know. And
for sure.
If I wasn't,
you've definitely evolved into the music industry.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, like you know, we used to listen to Catch Fire, and we used to listen to them, right? Yeah, we're super friends with those guys. And when we see them on tour, or we see them in the States, you know, it's like walk onto the tour bus and check them out, and everyone's looking at us like, who's this dark guy walking onto the bus right now? I mean, it's a trip, dude, and it's come a long way, dude, and I'm so stoked for everything that's gonna come. And you know, this year you'll see it. You're in the know, so
yeah, for sure.
There's gonna be some big announcement that we're gonna roll out this year, and it's gonna be epic. And we're starting off the year good. We're playing at One Love. Shoot, I leave in like 3 days.
Right, we're about to. That's why I'm glad I got you on this before.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry the boys weren't able to make it, but they're gonna be away from their families for like, you know, 8 weeks. So I think the best thing for them to do is just stay home and make the girlfriend and the kids happy, because that's another tough part, you know. And I give it to them. You know, you're asking what's the glue on tours. You know, there's moments where we're in the van and, you know,
people are breaking down.
Not breaking down. We always kind of like, pretty much all the boys are great at holding it together and not showing their emotions. And you know, I don't think anyone's ever had a crazy meltdown on tour. It's never been like that. But we've always managed just to be adults about the situation, know where we are, know what we're doing, know where we want to go. And
well, it really helps, because you're a very logical and rational person, especially when it comes to situations and other people and dealing with other people. That's what I've noticed about you. That's why I thought when you said, dude, I think I'm going to jump on and become 4-Piece's manager, I was like, they couldn't have chosen a better person, honestly, even though you had no idea exactly what you were doing.
Had none. Yeah,
I mean, but managing, right? I mean, it's something that we're used to. It's something that we've done since we were kids, telling the younger cousins where to go, what to do, how to do this.
I think that has a lot to do with the fact that, you know, we come from big families, and we have, you know, our, you know, the culture here on Guam, our extended family is a hierarchy, you know, from the oldest cousin down to the youngest cousin, and the way it works. And I think I managed to, you know, earn the respect of the boys and show them that, you know, I work my ass off when they're working their ass off too. So it's crazy. They do a good job every night.
Yeah, because I can imagine if you weren't there holding it together on that one end, they'll easily just fall apart. You know, I mean, the music's there. They're creative, but if they're worried about other things so much, and you're not there, then it can really cause issues, right? They had 2 tours before you jumped on.
One, I think, in Hawaii, yeah. And they had a couple hiccups there,
right?
And so, you know, that's not anything for me, dude. You know, we're used to, you know, you and I, we were blessed to, you know, go to school in the States, right? And so living out there by ourselves, we learned a lot, dude. And, you know, traveling, airports, how to rent a car, how to return that sucker properly, you know, how not to pick up fines everywhere you go, don't park the car here, what is a toll road, you know, all these things matter, you know, every dollar matters out there. And so I think that's just where I was able to really help them out, is like, look, I know how to travel, I know how to do these things. And so we've managed to put it all together.
You're holding the torch in the front, right? Like, follow me, guys. Yeah. And they're like walking their instruments.
They're doing so good at this, and I'm really proud of them. Before when we went out the first couple of tours, they wouldn't even move on stage. They'd just be like glued, like, where are we? What are we doing? Like, I don't know. And then now I can't stop them. They're like running around stage. Danton's jumping off the drum risers. Freaking Freddie's freaking waving at people, playing drums with one hand. JC's teasing me from the side of the stage. Like, it's
the comfort level has gone up.
The comfort level is there. The experience, the time on the road and the time on the stage is definitely starting to show for them. And it's even to the point where they're becoming more creative with their sets, and
for sure.
And they're programming the way they're gonna make people feel. And I think we're in the music business. This is part of our job, and so I think we take all the extra steps to like make sure that we do these things within our set to keep the crowd engaged. No one walks out on us. Like, we try to line up the songs to where we make you feel a certain way. And JC and Freddie and RJ and Danton, they do a great job at fitting all of that in, and then filling in the nasty transitions in it too. And I think, a lot of people say that to me. They're like, do they ever stop playing? I'm like, no, not really.
They don't need claps.
Yeah,
right?
They don't need, like, right now. And so that, that's actually what we talked about with the boys this time around was I told them, make some spots where you guys talk to the people. Like, tell them, hey, we're 4-piece from Guam. Like, I think it was this one guy from the States, like, hey, man, you guys forgot to say your band name. The guy, well, I guess we did so good that guy came up and was like, I have to know this band name. Like, hey, what's your freaking band name? And it's interesting to see all these kind of dynamics play out on the road. And every time we go out, we learn something new.
Right.
And we level up, and we learn how to, benchmark those good practices from other bands and implement them into our band and figure out ways to do things. And so now, we were blessed this year, earlier on this last tour when we went out on the road with Expanders. We've been talking with Ben from Ayaterra, and he's really good friends with us, and we're really good friends with Ayaterra. I think those are our super band buddies. Like,
yeah,
all the boys are the same age, and their manager's the same age as I am, so we just instantly clicked. Like, and we get along with these guys super well, and we help each other. And so we met this guy named Max O'Leary, and Max, he's the trumpet, or he's the trumpet player for Tribal Seeds, the Green.
Okay.
He plays for the Hornitos, but now they're called Ichiban Horns. But they're the most popular.
Are those white guys, the tall white guys
that play horns for all the big reggae bands? That's them. They're hired guns. But Max, he's an incredible dude. He's incredible at music, and he's really good at booking, and he's a booking agent for Empire Agency. And so now 4-piece, we signed him, and so he works for us. And so he's actually, we don't have to call anyone anymore. This guy goes out and does all the legwork for us and gets us all these shows, and we kind of just approve here and there. And
so it's just showing up from there.
Yeah, so now it's become a well-oiled machine, and we're starting to really figure out how it is to be a band on the main reggae scene. And I think this year is going to be a testament to that. You're going to see us play a lot of the bigger festivals this year. We've got One Love coming up, and then we got Reggae in the Desert. They haven't really announced that yet, but it's in the summer. And then we got some other big plans for our album, and that's something that took a while to produce, but I'm glad to say that we're really rounding it out, and this time it's coming to life. And I think all the boys are stoked and have a new fire seeing this new album come together for them. And so RJ's doing an incredible job tracking the album over at his house, and so next is
imagine that though. It's they're a touring band who resides here on Guam.
Yeah,
right. When do you ever see that?
It's not something that's ever really done, because everyone
touring too, right?
Yeah,
because DUB did some tours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
the Casuals back in the day.
The Casuals, yeah. Johnny, what's his name? Jimmy D, right? And so it wasn't as consistent as I'm seeing 4-piece over the last couple of years, right? 3 tours last year, and I think it's becoming something that people can do, because I got to give some love to Jason J. And Shabi and those guys that actually moved from Guam to go and make it work out there for them. And right,
dude, it's they're making strides, bro. They're doing their thing, and
for sure, yeah. Jason J's playing at
One Love, and Chris Boomer too. I think relocated to make it work for him. And I'm so stoked for Boom.
Yeah, that was pretty dope when I did the live Instagram story with all those guys
over at Soul Venue.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
Let's do one over at One Love.
Yeah. How was that though? You know, having an all Guam card, you know, for a whole entire set, a whole entire gig, a whole entire night. It was just all Guam.
Dude, that was cool. I hope that we can take that and make it something bigger,
for sure,
and like get more people out, because there's so many Chamorros in the States, and so to connect them to us and, you know, let them know that we're playing the music is kind of the hard part. Like we got to pick the following up, and we got to, like, you know, be advertised in such a way where we, you know, they're able to see us. And right now it's not at that level yet, but that was the beginning.
What do you think it'll take?
I think it'll take, you know, everyone on the island to kind of jump on board and support your own. Like, you know, it's kind of,
yeah,
you know,
like an appreciation for the music, local music.
Yeah, not only that, but just support local, dude. Like, these are some guys from Guam that made it, bro. That's like in the same footprints as Revolution, the same footprints as Slightly Stupid. Like, we're walking a lot of the lines that some of the best bands,
and playing in some of the best studios that some of these best bands have been playing.
Exactly, right? And so that's like, that's something that's huge. And so I think once it becomes big enough to where everyone finds out, then that's when we'll maybe garner the support that we need. But until then, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And, you know, I told the boys, just be humble and it'll come, you know. I was like,
the hard work will eventually pay off.
Hard work always pays off, bro.
Yeah.
When hard work meets talent, it's even more dangerous. And so that's why I never let them let up. Like, you know, last tour, we weren't financially ready to do that. And we still jumped on it because we know that we needed to stay on the tour or stay on the main scene to be relevant in order for us to keep progressing. And so that was something that we did. And I mean, look, we went out on that tour and we gained a booking agent and a general manager. So I mean,
and you didn't even go on that tour to look for that.
No, not at all. All of that came when we're, you know, that's the thing about being out there and mingling with people and being in those back rooms and the green rooms with those guys and watching them crush their sets and them watching us crush our sets. And they just, you know, they know when you watch someone on stage and you see live music and live music sounds good, you know when someone is badass. And so I think, you know, the boys, they're talented, bro. And like I said earlier, I still get, I get wowed out watching them, you know, like, and people see that, dude, and it resonates with them, and they can latch on to that. And so, you know, it's created some great relationships and along the way, and it's also opened so many doors that we've never even thought we had, or we never thought that we can even get here, you know. And here we are, dude, about to have a great year. And it's almost frightening, bro. It's scary, dude. Like, honestly, right now, like, I don't have any hair, but I think if I did, I'll be losing it all right now because it's stressful, dude. Like, it is stressful, dude. It's crazy. Like 24/7, bro. My phone rings at 7 a.m. because, you know, those guys from the States, they want to talk. And so I got to get up, do that, and then tank all the stuff that they tell us to do, you know, and then get on the boys and make sure that they're doing their stuff. And that's all it really is.
Yeah, but it takes a lot of pressure off of you now because
they're helping. Yes. But the thing is like, to get 5 people to do something and do it the right way, you know, it takes a lot of strength to muster up.
For sure, especially when they're on this other side of the world, right?
Yeah, and so the boys, I'm so blessed to have them as my band. Like, honestly, I've seen some of the other stuff that other tour managers deal with, and it could be, you know, a bad drunkard or someone that's freaking just off the wall, freaking bipolar or something like that. And
right.
Dude, I'm just blessed to have these guys because they never really, you know, we never really do anything bad, minus get drunk a couple times and, you know, crash out on someone else's house, and then we have to pick you up at 6 a.m. That would be about it. The rest of the stories we'll save to ourselves because what happens on tour stays on tour.
For sure.
Man, it creates a lot of experiences that are memorable for us, and, you know, we're gonna hold on to that.
Yeah,
we're gonna hold on to that forever, dude. Like, and it's also cool to like meet up with people from the States too that are from Guam or even like passing through, and, you know, you get to stop and watch. And didn't we do that one time?
When?
In Hawaii? I don't know. Was it you that came through?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did, right?
I was passing through Hawaii, and I got to watch the show at the Republic. Yeah, and the first tour.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I'm talking about. That is the coolest freaking experiences. Like, when you see people from Guam and you've been on the road, you know, you've eaten pizza for weeks, no rice, freaking hamburgers galore, you know, and then You see a Chamorro person, you're like, hey, come here, dude. I just need a second of Islander for me, bro.
Let me just smell your neck real fast.
Come here, dude. You got puka? What's in your bag, bro? You know? Got a scandal bag? What's in there? It's just freaking classic.
Smell like island sweat right now.
You know, that's something that should be brought up and talked about too is, you know, we don't only get support from the island here, we get support from the island out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of it comes from, you know, our families here. And dude, I swear to God, I think we've only paid for about 10 hotels, 12 hotels in our whole entire 3-year experience. We stay at our aunties' houses, we stay at our cousins' houses, we stay at people like
whether you guys are squishing in the living room on the floor.
Exactly, dude. Like all we need is floor space, and some of us sleep in the van. Like we're used to it, dude. You know, this is the life, and this is what we got to do to save money, to make money on tour, and you know,
sort of the quote unquote struggle.
Exactly, the hustle, the struggle. It's all there. It's kind of what no one sees. You know, everyone just sees the pictures and how the show went, but you know, they don't realize what it takes to, you know, be in the day of the life. Here, let me break it down for you. Here's a day in the life of tour. Get up, drive, get to the venue, unload all your stuff, help the other band unload all their stuff, because need I mind you, 4-piece, we don't bring anything. Yeah. We don't bring a backline. We don't bring drums. We've been blessed to work with bands that let us plug and play. So we make it a point to go out there and help these guys and be like one from the moment they unload to the moment their set's done and we need to pack up, we're there for them. And we help them, dude. And so this has helped us out a lot. So once we get sound check done, which sound check, the headliner always sound checks first. So that's an hour and a half of waiting. Then direct support after that, it's another hour and a half of waiting. And then your turn. And then by the time you get up and sound check, you're freaking tired. Oh, yeah. And then your set's in 30 minutes. You gotta put on your party hat, go up there, crush the set, get back down, and then wait for their set to, you know,
go and sell merch and hang out.
Go, you know, mingle with people, and then, you know, the boys have to go back on stage for features. You know, they jump on other people's sets, so they always have to like stay around for that, you know. And then we pack up, and we figure out where we're staying for the night, and sometimes we got a night drive, so we can be in Salt Lake City, you know, driving to Seattle. And try to make it there and
at
stop somewhere
in the morning.
Yeah, dude, we're down. If we can crush a drive in the night to get to a pot of cuddle in the morning, Prim, we're there, bro. We're doing it, you know. You could be surprised, dude. And so it's like, you know, you meet up with Matt Nilsson, and Matt Nilsson's like, "Oh, Prim, I made you guys corn soup," and we're like, "Yes, you are the best, Matthew."
I'm tired of Whataburger.
Oh man, it's Whataburger, dude. I wish they had In-N-Out everywhere, man, but it's just unfortunate that they don't, you know.
Yeah. Cause I don't know. I'm a Five Guys guy.
Five Guys is pretty good. Yeah. I've eaten it a bunch of places, but I don't know, man. I'm not too fond of Whataburger. It's just
me neither.
It's
me neither.
Reggie.
I'm definitely more of a Five Guys guy than a In-N-Out person.
That's always one cool thing to do on tours when you're out and you're actually waiting for that sound check and stuff. Yeah. Like I you know, me and JC, we always kind of like bone out, which is like, all right, guys, see you guys later. And we'll go like link up with Dan Kelly or something and go walk around Philadelphia, you know, and like check it out. But there'll always be like a park or river or something that's nearby. And dude, we check it out because you never, you know, you drive up to that town and you're not going to be in New Mexico for a while, you know. And so it's cool to check out like everyone's lifestyle, everyone's city, and it's cool because like you know the places that you think that you get racially discriminated on, you absolutely don't, bro. Like
I thought I was fake news media, man.
Yeah, I'm super dark, dude, and I thought I was gonna get like Españoles and freaking like Mexican and Texas, dude. But turns out, dude, everyone in Texas is freaking cool, bro. Yeah. It's party mode, bro.
I heard Austin's really nice.
Austin is so cool, dude. Yeah. Austin's a good city. I think I had a conversation with the guy and his chick and their other friend for like an hour about Guam, like being from Guam, you know, like how does it feel to be from an island? Are we worried about North Korea? You know, like.
Yeah, I think that's the most exotic thing though about 4-piece, is that they come from they're on a national level, but they come from a very small place and it freaks people out, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, once people figure out that we can fit the island into, you know, Lake Tahoe, yeah, they're like, wow. And once they figure out how far the plane ride was for us to get there, they're even more freaked out. And then they watch us play on stage and they're like tripping out. And there's funny rumors that go around about the boys. Like I heard one guy say, these guys have been playing music since they're 7 years old on stage, bro. Look at them, they're only like 20. I was just like looking at the boys like, no, dude. But it's kind of true, dude. All of the boys have been playing music for a very long time.
Little do people know, Freddie started in freaking heavy metal.
Yeah, Freddie was a metal drummer. RJ was with Matt Sablon and those guys before. Right. Even he was in Table for Five, I think, right?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think that's where they kind of got him from, if I'm not mistaken. And then JC's from Radical Rhythm, so that's kind of why a lot of people in Hawaii like know who we are, is because of JC.
Yeah, I wish JC was here because I really want to talk to him about that. I remember him when he first started playing, when they were 4-piece. FOUR, right?
FOUR.
PIEC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I was just like, who is this guy with this super reggae voice, right? Yeah. And none of us understood it, right? And it's like, all right, this guy doesn't look Rasta, but he definitely pulls off that whole persona of the voice and how you sing, and it totally throws you off. And then you kind of go from a judgment to like a respect factor, because you realize what he's able to do with that voice and then play keys at the same time.
Exactly. He
two keyboards at that, right? Two different sounds.
Yep, he's bubbling and playing, and playing the rhythm, and then he's singing on top of that. And JC does a good job at commanding stage presence. And when he sings, a lot of people just look up like, holy cow, and it's surprising to see, like, Expanders, when we went on tour with them for the first couple days, dude, they were like, just weren't really clicking with us like right away. They were kind of like standoffish, like the conversations were really short-lived. And then finally I went up to Cheeky's or John Butcher, and I was like, yo, dude, what's up, bro? We don't bite. Like, come back here and kick it with us, dude. Like, what's going on? And he's like, honestly, dude, I'm just starstruck by JC and Freddie and the boys. I'm like, what? I was like, dude, these guys are so cool. I was like,
if anything, they're starstruck by you guys.
They're starstruck by you guys. And so it's so funny to see that. And because they're there every time we play. You look down, they're on the right. They're watching us, or they're with me on the side of the stage, like vibing out. And they're always trying to get us up for features and, hey, jump up on my set. We're going to play this rhythm, and just, when I signal, come up and drop a verse. Like, it's all there, dude. And it's crazy because on the last tour, we recorded a track with the Expanders and Ayaterra. And that's how good the vibes in our camps are. Like, when we go on the road with people, we end up becoming family with them. And, that starstruck goes away and ends up becoming a brotherhood. And
for sure.
Dude, we made a track with those dudes. And
yeah, it's crazy because with music, your idols don't become your rivals.
Yeah.
It's more like your idols become your family.
Become your family and your friends. And that's a big part of like everything that we've got involved in. And you'll see as we start to roll out like our announcements and stuff, you're going to realize that it was all in-house, bro. A lot of the stuff that came for us was, things that were talked about in the green rooms and brought to life by the boys and, by us communicating with those guys and staying friends with them. And, Ayaterra, we got lucky. We went on 2 tours with those dudes. And so, we were super blessed to, be with them. And they're on the rise right now. Those guys are crushing with Stick Figure right now as we speak. All of their shows are sold out. And, dude, those guys are doing it. And so it's good to have, them with us. And, what's interesting is like all the mistakes that a lot of those guys made, they freaking like us so much that they make sure that we don't make those mistakes. They'll be like, yo, don't do this. Don't mess with this guy. Don't entertain these people. Watch out for these people. Or like, yo, you need to do this. Or, hey, I heard this in your set. Like, these guys are so freaking cool and down that I sometimes like can't believe that they would share that kind of information with us, like stuff that took them 5 years and a whole bunch of freaking money to figure out.
For sure.
They fed it to us, and we're like, okay, we're not going to make those mistakes. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But it's like, interesting to see that they even do that for us. And
yeah, how do you get over the hump of having to pay so much to get out there?
Honestly, Boo, right now we're eating the bill. We're eating that bill.
It's probably the biggest overhead ever.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's worth it. And right now we got people like GVB helping us out, like, you know, the cultural and sports ambassadorship, you know, that program.
Right.
And Craig from over there, they do a really good job at supporting, you know, local kids getting out to do stuff like this. And so we're blessed to be a part of that program, and we're blessed to have their help. And then, to be honest, like, there's a lot of companies that have helped us along the way. Fuck Guys helped us. Calibus and Trench Fest has, you know, really helped us out a lot.
For sure.
And man, who else? I think even Payless freaking hooked us up a couple times. Like, there's people that, you know, are interested to see how we do it. And
yeah, it's a literal movement, right? Yeah. It's something, like we said earlier, it's something that hasn't been seen here in a long while.
In a long time. And you know, it's crazy. A lot of people don't even know we're doing it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
a lot of people don't know we're doing it, and that's not what we're interested in. We're not.
Why not though? You know, you want people to come out and see you.
we do. We're not. I didn't mean it like that. We're not interested in the fame and the fortune and that. We're here to do this because we all like music that much.
Right.
We feel good spreading the music to people out there.
And in what other life are you going to be able to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You should be surprised, dude. Like, people come up to Freddie and JC after the shows and tell them, you know, ask them why they wrote those lyrics. Like, it connects so much with me. Like, I feel the same way. I just want to know if this was your intentions when you're writing this. Right. And a lot of the times it is. And so for us, that's enough.
Right.
For us, that's enough. Yeah. Right there. That's enough for us to just be like, never mind the plane ticket. This is where we are. This is what we got to do. And
yeah, the connection's priceless.
Yeah, and if the fame and the fortune comes with it and comes for us, then cool. But for now, we're focused on getting out this new album and climbing the ranks and like finding our place in reggae. You know, reggae history. Like, we want to seal our place in reggae history. We know we got to write some killer jams and play some cool shows and get out there and spread and do our things. And so we're onto it. Like, we're trying to find a formula that works. And I think, you know, what the separates us from the boys and everyone else is we're down to fail. We are down to accept the fail and try again. And if it didn't work, then we'll try again. And then if it didn't work, we're going to try again. And then one time we're going to do it right. And right now kind of feels like that time. Like, right now feels like everything is going really good for us. And I hope that the first 6 months of this 2018, you know, sets us up to do good for the rest of our lives. And so this is like a turning point for all of us where we got to make a decision. Like, is this what we really want? And the answer is yes, 110% yes. All of us are down. Right. From Kiko to me, you know, and Freddie and JC and Danton and RJ. Like, we're all there. This is us, and it's something that we share when we're out on the road. It's something that we know in our hearts when we leave places, drive away, and every time we leave a show, we talk about that show, talk about the set, talk about things that we did wrong, talk about things that the crowd did or whatever happened that night. And right. And it always comes down to us learning something, and it always comes down to us feeling that passion and wanting to play again, get on the next tour. What can we do? And so I think that's, you know, what pushed us, you know, alongside good connections. But I think it was us wanting to go more than anything, and being invited, you know, and taking the offer is kind of just what separates us. Like, we just went.
When did it happen for you personally, where you knew this is something that you really, really wanted to do? I think besides, because I've always known you as being a very ambitious person, always getting into different stuff. But I see you now targeting. I've never seen a bigger. I've never seen your eyes get so big for something, and the way you're speaking right now is passion, right? Even though you're not making the music or creating the music, you're guiding the music, and I can see the passion in the way you're speaking and in your eyes, and that's so. Where did it really start for you? If you can kind of think back in the last 3 years,
I think where it started for me, the want to do more as a manager and the want to get more done and get bigger in the music industry, is when I saw Kimo, the manager for the Green,
right?
Hawaiian guy, dude, and This guy was driving around Cali Roots, the biggest reggae festival in the world, with his own golf cart with his name on it, and it said dial 444 for chemo. And I was like, looking at this guy, like, what? I was like, man, this guy's killing it. He manages the Green. He's in house with like the same the same agency that manages Nas and Lauryn Hill and all these people. And I was like, man, dude, if the Hawaiians can do it, we can do it, bro.
Right.
There's nothing different about them than us, and it's kind of inspiring to have them set up before us and do it, so we can kind of like mimic the way that they did it. And
yeah, for sure. I kind of see you down the line helping other future bands, not just Four Piece. I mean, I feel like Four Piece is a stepping stone for you also, in a sense that you can help other bands from Guam kind of make that leap, because you guys are sort of learning the ins and outs and what to do's and what not to do's.
Mm-hmm.
And the way other bands are sort of giving you those guidelines to fast track yourselves into the reggae world.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for you as yourself, you can easily become an agent, right?
Yeah.
For this part of the world.
Yeah, I was thinking about, getting into stuff like that, but I think, like I said, if we make the formula work for Four Piece,
right,
then I'll turn around and do it for everyone on Guam that we can.
Right.
That has the will and the want and the talent, and you're talking about passion and where for me was the turning point. I think honestly one of the turning points was seeing the boys, dude. Like I wholeheartedly believe in every single one of them, because we've done so much together, and none of us have ever thought about throwing in the towel, being like, we can't do this. Yes, there's been times where it's tough on our families and tough on the boys' loved ones, and they're away, and it's hard, dude. Like,
yeah.
In the beginning, we're not gonna make a lot of money.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no money involved in what we're doing right now. Right now, we're just trying to break
the dues.
Yeah, trying to break even and trying to break through to where we can set up something good enough to where we know, like, look, now this can pay all of our salaries. We can afford to insure each other. Like, it becomes. And so we've made those steps. Four Piece is a small corp, and we have a board, we have a president, we have everything, and we're lined up. And so we did that last year because we knew that this year was gonna come like this. And so it's like every time we dream something up, we go out and we do it because we had the balls to go ahead and think that way.
For sure.
And so that's important for those guys, and it's important for us to be consistent with each other and stay on top of it. And I think for me, the turning point was when me and Kiko watched them crush on this last tour, and then the Fortunate Youth tour, when Kiko came and met us in Seattle, and the crowds were big, and everyone was vibing on our set, and everyone was figuring out, the Josh Heinrichs connection, and da-da-da-da. And dude, we knew, bro, that this is kind of like something we knew we wanted to do. For me, I'm the kind of guy where I think I need seven different projects or 7 sources of income to like make the income that I really want, or you know what I mean. And I didn't want someone to hand it to me. I wanted to build it from the bottom and work on it ourselves and do it ourselves and do all the legwork ourselves. And we managed to do it, bro. Right. And this is like one project that's really starting to turn out, and I'm proud to be a part of Four Piece Band. I'm honored that those guys still have me.
Trusted you for this long.
Yeah, dude. I always ask them, I always ask JC, I'm like, let me know when you need one new manager. And he's like, no, I don't need a manager. But yeah, dude, I'm glad that they're still with me and still with Keeks, and I think they know, like, we don't want anyone else. Like, this is our unit. We started from the bottom, and now we're here, and now we're doing this. And another person that's a part of our project is Big John O'Malley. Mm-hmm. And Big John, he was there for us
from the beginning,
and he's still with us now. And so these are some of the people that like seen us grow from freaking a conversation that was had after Trench Fest,
right,
for when Four Piece came to get their money for playing the set. That was when all of this happened, bro. And this is all because of Trench Fest, and even you and I.
To writing on the windows?
Yeah. Seriously, dude. And even that office that you and I used to be in, and like everything, this kind of being the 3-year mark of Masterandom, dude. Wow, bro.
Literally 3 years, man.
130 shows.
You're 132 tonight.
132 shows, dude. You're like, I think you're gonna be like Guam's Joe Rogan. You already are Guam's Joe Rogan. And
look, man, I don't honestly, dude. I don't know where this is gonna take me. I don't know if this is gonna make me quit my job, you know, and I can pull this off full time. I don't know. I'm literally taking it by stride. I'm trying to stay passionate about it.
I think you do know, boo. I think you know. I think you know, bro. I think you know when you wake
Maybe
up
I'm afraid to admit, right?
Yeah, it's because you're steady as an engineer.
Yeah.
But you know, one day you're gonna wake up and be like, I think I know, you know, and it'll come. And that's the thing is, like, when you find it, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna bite you in the ass and be like, why didn't I do this all along? But I'm glad 3 years later that you still managed to juggle both.
Dude, I don't even know how, man, but it's and the traction that I've been getting, at least people recognizing.
Dude, you have
I've been doing
a crap load of followers. Remember when we started the account and we had 50 followers on Instagram? We were like, how do we get more followers? Dude, it just started going and going and going and going. And you know what, boo? I think what I can tell you is just stick to it, bro. Like, don't give up. You know, a lot of times in any project, dude, it becomes hard to carry on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest difficulty I've seen is being disciplining myself. I'm my own, you know, like for the podcast, right? I'm my own boss. Like, I gotta make sure I gotta go look for people, gotta show up, set up the shit, you know, and then, you know, thankful for Matt and Brian, you know, now that the whole video production and live stream stuff is coming into play. Now I can, the vision just got bigger. I'm like, oh shit. Well, this is possible.
That's, you know, for me, it was like when we did that Instagram interview,
right,
at the show. I was like, you know, I was or even talking to you about that. I was like, hey, boo, we're gonna be backstage. You know, call us and we'll talk. And you're like, yeah, I think we can do it. And I was like, you can do it. Yeah. We just need to find a way. And so I remember, boo, when we started off with
the Zoom,
three small mics.
And these same mics.
Yeah, these ones. And we used to have
mic stands.
We used to do the GoPro.
Yeah,
dude. Hey, bro. We interviewed Regine Bisco and called that she was running for senator.
Yeah.
Remember that? Dude?
In my dad's office.
In your dad's office. That's what I was. Hey, bro.
Yeah, man.
The irony of these things, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's so crazy. I feel like the information. I've never grown so much throughout my whole 20s. The last 3 years, I've grown immensely. The information that I've been given and the people that I've met through it, completely priceless.
I kind of like how you did that, man. I really appreciate the variety that you know, brought on board, dude. Like, you managed to find like the coolest people like out there in their field doing their thing and get them in here and ask them, you know, how they're doing it and why. And I think a lot of people, like, you know, relate to that. Like, they want to know too. And so you're providing that platform for them. And then, you know, it's awesome to see, like, it's awesome to see the show just 132 episodes deep. Like, we started off like doing shows, trying to come up with titles for shows, trying to find things to find people and things to interview, get leads.
Constantly being shut down.
Yeah, but now it's like, I'm pretty sure you got people hitting you up asking you like, hey, how can I be on the show?
Extremely humbling, dude, for people to hit me up and be like, hey, I want to be on your show. How can we do this? I just did something with United, the Guam Marathon.
I saw that. Derek Mandel.
Yeah, I had Derek Mandel and Leo Takal, and then I also had Renee Logie, Manami Ijima, and Rhea Malakuso. And it was like, what the fuck? Like, this landed in my lap, and here I am. Like, dude, I do this out of my apartment. You know, I'm not in no legit studio, but because of the work that's been put into it, it's created some sort of credibility, right? To be trusted that maybe I can put on a good show. And I'm just going with it, dude. I'm really just rolling with it. I'm having so much fun with it, especially now that we're doing the video streams and stuff. And
you know what I want to suggest is, every day when I look at the news, all I see is a different mugshot, you know, of a different person doing.
It should be my pictures right on the front page.
No. What I'm getting at here is, like, there is no investigative journalism going on Guam.
Yeah.
No one.
I agree.
No one reports. I mean, besides the, you know, the intellects that write in the you know, in the column in the center of the paper.
Right.
No one's really like doing any type of investigative journalism here. Like,
Agreed.
As
where
to
they
our,
spend like months and months on just one thing.
Just on a certain issue, dude. Like there's so many issues that on Guam that I feel like we can investigate and try to figure out why we have some of these problems. And I feel like I think some of the, you know, the like PDN and some of them should devote their time to doing stuff like that instead of like smashing up another mugshot to take up space, you know?
Right.
Like I hate seeing it, dude. It's just like, can you imagine the military people and the people that are trying to visit this place and they come here and that's all they see on the front page of the paper when they pick it up?
Bad news.
Yeah, dude, it's so embarrassing. And I'm not trying to say like, okay, we shouldn't report it, but what I'm trying to say is like, why don't you report on things that are actually going to matter, dude? Like are going to actually persuade a reader to feel a certain way or change some type of idea or thought that they had before, you know?
I mean, but think about it, dude. Newspapers is almost on its way out, right?
It's becoming obsolete.
The New York Times and the Washington Post, pretty much, they don't do newspapers. Not as consistent now. Now everything's online.
It's just push notifications, Brett.
Yeah.
You know?
And
they get to you like that, and so that's partly our fault.
Yeah,
because our generation, you know, technology is everything to us. I mean, I live on my phone, bro.
Yeah, me too.
I kill my battery at least 4 times a day. Like,
okay, not that much.
That thing lives. My phone lives on the charger, bro. You know, and it's not because, you know, I'm glued to it and I'm a troll. You know, it's because this is where, you know, 90% of my business is going to be done.
For sure.
It's on the phone, dude, answering emails and taking phone calls.
Amit Sakdev said the same thing. Yep. He goes, man, 90% of my life I'm on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I'm searching up the best apps in Asia or trying to communicate with my developers in Thailand, I'm always on the phone.
So you got me on what's next for Master Random, bro.
Growth, dude. I mean, we're still trying to figure out the whole live stream and, you know, getting it right. And what's next? I want to move into a studio. You know, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it here anymore. I actually want a place that we can go and create an environment.
Stage it.
Yeah.
Kind of stage it where it feels. Well, dude, honestly, this feels really good.
Yeah, dude, and honestly,
really,
people do say that, like, dude, if you get a studio, you're gonna have to make it look exactly like this.
Yeah, because this is really inviting, bro. Yeah, it's almost kind of like man cave-ish, but like not man cave-ish, like classy man cave-ish type.
Dude, Zach Banner was just sitting where you were sitting like 5 hours ago, and he was just like, dude, yeah.
In this chair right here?
In that chair. Huge, bro.
How did he fit?
Big guy, dude, yeah. And he was just like, man, you know, I'm just loving the whole vibe here. You know, everything on the wall. I'm looking at your PlayStation over there. I can kick your ass in FIFA.
Oh, shit.
Stuff like that.
Damn.
So, dude, I mean, it's, that's what I want to do. That's what's next. That's short-term goal for me. You know, get out of here. And, dude, I've been offered a studio space 3 times already. But is that what I really want to do? You know, go into it with someone else, or is it something? Do I want to like see if I can do it myself?
Dude, I think if you can manage 3 years on your own, bro, you don't need anyone else. You know?
Yeah.
And that's something that I've come to realize, dude. If you just want something, go out and get it by yourself, dude. And then if you can't, then find resources and people to bring you up to get you to that level to get it. You know? And
yeah.
So I think right now you're on that level. Like for me, like where we started, you know, when we first started interviewing people and talking, there was a lot of and how do we nah, it's not like that anymore. We're just right now we're just dude. Totally vibing and just going off this, you know, on the top of our heads. And
yeah, dude, it's crazy how much of a conversationalist I've become because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And just
do you do that out of the bar?
I rarely. Okay. So this was my little secret. Before we actually started the podcast, I actually practiced the whole year before that, and it was just going to the bar and talking to people, whether I knew them or not. I just spark up a conversation.
Hey man, how's it going?
Yeah. And it was a good way to practice and socialize. But I think it was actually sitting down and really getting to know the person across the table, which really helped me become the conversationalist that I am today.
Yeah, I think so, because a lot of the people that you interview, you're interviewing for a certain reason, and then you might not know them
at all
until they come in here, and then you know, spark conversation with them, and then I could imagine
sometimes we end up not talking about what they do for a living, right? Yeah. And it's like what they like, and that's just the way the show goes, and that's what I love about it. It's it's pure and it's raw, and it brings us back, right? It's and I've always thought that about the podcast. It brings us back to when people actually used to have to talk to each other.
Yep.
Not hang out and we're both on our phones and.
Hey, my family got a rule, bro. Right when we get to the dinner table and we're all together, we turn in our phones and we stack it high and make sure that no one has one.
It's a great rule. I think everyone should do that rule.
I love coffee shops and restaurants that say, hey, we don't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You guys should sit down and talk to each other.
Right.
Every time I see that sign, I'm like, I guiltily put my phone in my pocket and I feel so bad when I break it out and look at it, look at her. I'm like, please don't look at me.
I use my data.
Yeah. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, dude. And so it's I like what it's turned me into.
Mm-hmm.
I feel more sociable around people. I feel like I don't even have to know you at all, and we can vibe. I don't know how many times I've brought in people that I don't know. People that walk through this door not knowing, like, wait, what the fuck? I'm in an apartment complex?
Whose studio is this?
What the hell is this guy doing?
Oh my God, he has a pit bull. Shh. He has a pit bull. Don't move.
Yeah, don't move. Yeah, dude, and to this point, fuck. I can't. It feels like a blessing. It feels like a blessing to have stuck with it. 2016, I did 53 episodes. 2017, I did 46 episodes. 2018, I want to break 200 episodes. So I'm looking at 75 episodes this year.
How many per week?
Well, it would have to be.
What's the math on that? How many?
It would have to be 8. It would have to be 8 per month, so 8 times or 7 per month, right? So 7 times 12, 14.
That's not bad.
That's 184 episodes. Yeah,
you can handle.
Yeah,
you can do that.
So I did 5 last month, and I'm already on 2 in February, and it's February fucking 1st.
Mm-hmm. So what did Zach Banner say?
Dude, honestly, I'm convinced by him, bro. I'm convinced by his love for this place. Even granted he didn't grow up here or wasn't born here, but he recognizes where he comes from. I think more so than people who live out in the States and actually were born and raised here.
Well, dude, honestly, I respect him because there's a lot of people out there in the States that know their roots, but there's few that actually come back here to try to find it.
Dude, and he's giving back in a huge way.
Yeah, dude. When he's out in the schools and stuff.
Yes.
See that?
How inspiring is that for the younger generations?
Everybody,
dude?
bro. And that's one thing that concerns me, Boo, is there's no promise for a kid out of Guam, dude. Really, bro. Think about it. Like, what is there? Actually, for anyone of that matter, bro. There's nothing promised for anyone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Period, bro. You don't know if you're gonna live. You don't know if you're gonna die tomorrow. But we're gonna chance it, right? But
yeah.
At the end of the day, like, you gotta do what you gotta do, and I like that Zach Banner represents that. Where he shows kids from Guam that, dude, you can make it.
Yeah.
There's just sacrifice and a lot of hard work that comes on, in between, and that kind of reverts back to 4-piece and where we are and freaking what we're doing. And I tell you this much, bro. We've spent over $50,000, $60,000 already, bro. Easily, dude. That's probably on the low end of what we spent.
Damn.
And we pay to play. Right. It's kind of the best way to put it, bro.
I mean, same here, dude. Now fuck, I'm blessed. I'm blessed that Amit's believed in the podcast for so long that when it came time for sponsorships, he was like, boom, I'll buy a spot. And now in this next few months, dude, I'm already getting the sponsorships rolling in, dude. Mm-hmm. And if I get enough sponsorships, this thing will be paying for itself in no time, dude. And it blows my mind because I've been losing so much money.
No. Dude.
I was like, damn.
Hey, the thing is that you dreamed this up, bro.
Yeah.
And it's crazy when you dream something up and you freaking see it go down. You're like, what do I do now? Like, what do I do now?
Yeah, and that's the real big thing is that nobody showed me the way, or even us. When we first started,
there was nothing. I remember
I came to you and I was like, dude, I want to start this show, but I'm so nervous. I don't know how to start it. Can you be my co-host? You're like, fuck yeah, let's do this.
Let's do it.
And that's all it took was us to actually sit down and do it. The first episode is me, you, and Dom in the garage.
Yeah, Dom, dude with hairs. That's not bad, bro.
So it's
I went to play golf with my classmates. Those guys do last weekend or a couple weeks ago. Dude, and those guys can crush, bro. Freaking Dom is crazy good at golf, dude. It was good to see, but
I've been trying to get Dom and Henry on the podcast since December of 2015.
damn. I should have called them to do it tonight, bro. It would have been a good one. Those guys, you got to get them in, dude. They're super interesting.
Yeah,
They're
eventually.
fun.
Definitely eventually, dude. It's... Damn, I just can't believe it's come this long.
It's 2 years.
The amount
dude.
of people that's been on it. And I feel like your journey and my journey kind of started the same. You kind of went on your own path and you found your way. And now, like I said, I texted you last week. I feel like even though our pathways are totally different, we're bound to come back in together because that's just the way it is.
It is. Dude, I known you since what, second, third grade, bro?
Long time, dude.
Long time, bro. Shit, you grew up in Afami, bro, right down the street from my nana's house. Like, it's always interesting to see your friends come up, and for me, I personally enjoy it, like, more than anything, to see my friends and my family and everybody on Guam, for that matter, make it, dude. Like, no more hating on each other, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like, everyone else does a good job at that. You should be the person that kind of change, you know, and for me, that's kind of, you know, a big thing, you know, with 4-piece and stuff. We try to, you know, not do that, bro. We just try to be a positive force through music for everybody.
Right.
I've learned to change a lot, meeting people, you know, working with people from the States and seeing how freaking vicious some people are to other people made me have a lot of respect for how everyone here takes care of each other and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know,
and speaking of what you're saying, there's a weird notion that I don't want other people to do their own podcast. It comes up all the time.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, I'm gonna do. Is it okay if I do a podcast? I was like,
course,
dude. I was like, I'm not the keeper of the podcast.
yeah,
like,
but you're already doing a good job helping out Jude and some other people develop their own genre.
Right.
So,
And so that's my aim too. Is
no one's gonna hate on you for that.
you
bro.
know, like what I was telling you, you're kind of going through the hard times to show other people the easy way to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've been doing that in the last 3 years. I mean, gone through the ups, the downs, the hard, the easy, and now I know the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I can go and give this knowledge to other people and sort of be like, all right, here's what I know. What you do with it is really up to you. And I wish you luck.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because remember when we first started the podcast, or when you first started the podcast, we talked about sponsorship.
Right.
I remember I was telling you, I was like, you need to get sponsorship so that you can at least have them like pay for your equipment upgrades, like pay for your you know, your domain and your usernames and all your social media, like all your boosting. I was like, have someone come on board, and I was like, watch, once you start talking about the right things and people start noticing, I was like, watch, everyone's gonna start calling you, and here you are.
Yeah.
You're doing it. Freaking everyone's like, oh, you know, everyone asked me about Master Random. Like, they'll scroll back on the pictures, be like, hey, you're in Master Random. I was like, yeah. I was like, I sure was in the beginning. I freaking, you know, me and Boo, we worked in the same office, and you know, we helped get each other off.
We did it.
Yeah, dude, we did
Yeah.
that. And it's crazy. And now both of our projects are still freaking trucking, and dang, dude, it's good to see. And you know, maybe people will learn something from it. And
Yeah, I got a curious thought for you. What do you think about opportunity here on Guam? It's been coming up in my head lately.
in regards to
people not seeing opportunity here or not thinking that there's opportunity.
I think that's
here.
paired directly with ambition, dude. Some people just are different creatures, dude. Like, they're very complacent, you know, with what they got and how they're doing things, and for them, that's it. Like, that's all they know, you know. And I think it kind of comes down, you know, I'm gonna be a dick and kind of say this, but it comes down to socioeconomic status, bro. Like, who you are, you know, what you were afforded, and how you were able to, you know, there's it even is like evidence of this in like a class or a caste system. Like, you know, your dad's a freaking farmer. How do you not become a farmer? How do you want to be more than your dad that was a farmer? You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine being a person faced with that situation? Like,
right.
It must be tough on them. And so, I don't know, dude. Opportunity for me, like, I've always been a person that looks at opportunity as something that I want, like something that I need in order to get to the next level or to do something better and bigger. And I guess that's always something that's on our mind, is like, we're not complacent with what we do. We want to try to strive to perfection, even though there is no perfection.
Right.
But getting there and getting close, you know, is something that something that can be achieved. Like they say, if you want to be good at anything, was it 10,000 hours to mastery?
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like put in your 10,000, bro.
Yeah.
And you'll be there, you know? And so opportunities is that, dude.
I think that a lot of people are worried about the end game, rather than the journey that takes to get there.
They can't see it.
Yeah.
They can't see through the struggle and the strife and not having the money and not having the resources, and maybe when they feel like the resources aren't there, that there's no other resources. But it really wasn't that there wasn't any resources. It would just kind of comes down to you weren't looking hard enough.
Right.
And that's how I kind of feel for everything, bro, is, you know, you got to get out there and freaking do something, and you got to like allocate all your resources, use your brain, use your hands, whatever God gave you to freaking make shit happen, then fucking make shit happen. You know?
I gotta say, going against your saying of this, your social economic status
determines your opportunity.
Yeah, because you know it's
kind of true though. It's kind of true.
Well, it can be used as a big excuse too.
Oh yeah,
you know, like
exactly.
I didn't grow up with this in my life.
Yeah,
I didn't grow up like this.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say. Is that dictates a lot about who you are and how your mind thinks and
so
how
if
you're
they're
raised.
really stuck on that, then they'll never get out of it.
Yeah, because that's all you know.
Right.
That's all you know. You know what I mean? And so that's what I always.
I guess that's where self-awareness comes into play.
Yeah, dude, and self-worth, and it's also like comes down to how you were taught. You know, like learned behaviors. You know what I mean? There's certain things that you're born with, and there's certain things that you learned. And there's certain things that you can't learn.
Right.
Like you can't teach a person class. You can't teach a person aggression. People have those things. Those are a part of your genes, part of your DNA, who you were born to be. And some people are born to be the baddest running back in the world and freaking crush through holes. And then there's some kids that were made to join the cheerleaders and freaking, you know, push those girls up and freaking look, you know, like get them down real quick.
Wasn't there someone in high school that was on a cheer squad?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Fuck, what's his name? Oh God, I forget his name.
Yeah, that was a bad comparison. But that's what I was trying to say. Like, there's different levels of what you know and what you're able to attain, and I think it has something to do with that, bro. It has something to do with, you know what I mean? Because think about like what you know, and what you know is that like take the podcast for example. Like you didn't start with freaking 20 grand capital,
right?
You didn't start with.
I didn't start with knowing everybody either. And still you were able to see the end goal. Yeah. And I think that's part of your education, bro. Right.
You know
I wouldn't say end goal. I think I had a vision. Right.
Yeah. And
I think not of the end, but what the potential.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you were afforded college.
Right.
And college really opened a lot of books.
That's very true.
Dude, to be honest,
man,
very
true. That's very true.
My marketing degree, like, I didn't think that I would, you know, when I was in those classes sitting there, I was like, dang, why am I here? Like, Jesus, verbatim, dude. I was just like, I can't stand listening to death by PowerPoint. Oh my God. Freaking like Jesus, right? But I always thought to myself, one day, every day that I'm here is one less day that I got to be here. You know what I mean? And I might as well take something from it and learn what I can so I can come out on top. And honestly, dude, I use that marketing degree all the freaking time. Yeah. Like all the time, bro.
Yeah. I use my engineering degree almost every single day since I started working as an engineer.
Dude, look at your freaking setup, bro. If this doesn't scream engineer, dude, I don't know what does, bro. Everything has a tripod, dude. Look at the scaffolding on this freaking camera, bro.
That's actually your tripod. Thank you for that.
It's all good, dude. And it's just, damn, dude, you actually have a bunch of cams now.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking come a long way.
It has, dude.
You know, as far as like, yeah, I guess you're right. You know, I've applied what I've learned over the years into something that I really love, and I kind of just ran with it, even though people were telling me I was wrong. Man, and I've got plenty of it. I've got plenty of, you shouldn't do this on your show. You shouldn't talk about that. Why you bring this person on? Why you do this? It's like, honestly, I don't know who sets the rules here, but you gotta. I'm going with it.
Yep.
You know, whether it's right or wrong.
Hey, remember,
who says what the fuck is right or wrong
dude,
these days?
everyone's fucking entitled to their own opinion,
right?
And I think that's one thing. Remember, we were talking about that from the start. Is we can't fucking go to the bank and cash out what other people fucking think about us.
Right.
And in the first place, that's none of your fucking business because that was their thought, not yours. And you're not allowed to go in their head and be like, you couldn't say that.
Right.
You know? So I think.
Yeah, and you know, I you're right. I've never worried about what anyone had to say about the podcast. I mean, I take it as a suggestion or a compliment or
some people
whatever.
Just don't know how to spit it out, dude. You know,
right.
Their intentions were probably good, but it might have came out in a way that was like, ooh.
But it doesn't have to be necessarily something bad that they're saying. It's more like, you know, like they know what's best, right? And I don't even know what's best. They told us trans fat's good for us, right? But come to find out, it was a big lie. You know, like they told us that sugar is small amounts of sugar is good for us, but that's all a big lie too.
And everything's a lie.
You know,
bro.
everything that they told us what is over the decades and decades and decades before everybody became woke and the internet became something and information was readily available where you can go research something and call people on their bullshit. What's right and what's wrong these days?
Yep.
Right.
Everyone's a Mayo Clinic doctor. And that's the thing, dude. Just stick to it, man. You're doing good. Freaking, let me be the first to congratulate
Thank you, bro.
3 years.
3 years, dude. And you were there.
I was
you
there.
were there, dude.
I'm still here, bro. Freaking, I'm a fan. I'm a fan first and foremost of the show.
Thank
and
you.
Freaking, sorry the boys didn't make it tonight, but I promise
okay.
when we get back from this next tour and we're in transition mode into the next tour, we'll make time for you. And we'll, you know, I want you to hear from everyone, you know, how they feel about things. And, you know, right now I'm speaking for them, and it's a freaking honor to do that. And it's always an honor to be a freaking part of 4-Piece Band. And it's kind of like a project that I can't let go of, even though at times it becomes hard because, you know, I could be making money somewhere else.
Sure,
and
for sure.
You know, I've turned down a bunch of jobs because I'm afraid of ditching this project, and maybe why I am.
But I don't think you should call it being afraid. I think you believe.
Yeah, I believe
more than
dude.
being afraid.
Yeah, I believe, and I think like if your dreams aren't scary, bro, they aren't big enough. You know.
Yeah, right.
So that's how I kind of know I'm onto something, because I'm fucking terrified right now. Like, I'm just terrified. I'm not trying to say that I'm a panty and I'm like afraid of, like, you know, doing what we got to do, but it's just like, it's overwhelming, bro. It's overwhelming
because there's no one here being like, Bo, sit down, have a seat.
Yeah.
All right, this is how we did it back in the day.
Yep.
And you know, this is how you should do it. You're literally in the same boat as me. It's like, okay, what's right and what's wrong?
There is.
And
it's only what you think.
What am I gonna think?
Yeah.
You know,
it's only what you think is right and wrong. And so at the end of the day, like, when it came time to level up and keep going places, like, there's been a lot of times where we've had to, like, you know, say goodbye to some people that we worked with along the way, and continue to progress forward. And sometimes, you know, those are the hardest parts. But
yeah, for sure. I'm right there along with you, bro.
Stick with your crew, and when you go fast and go hard. And that's all I can suggest is sometimes don't look back, bro, and don't you know, try to remember, like, the hardships, remember the good times out of everything. And I think that's what keeps everybody driving forward. And for everyone on Guam, and for all the kids out there, like, you know, whoever's listening to this, and like, if you're a musician and you're listening to this, arrange your music, guys. There's so much talent out here, but it kills me to see you guys playing on cajuns, thinking those are drums.
Or playing covers. Like, I love the way you guys sing covers, and I love cover songs myself. And you and I are true fans of music. Look, you got 2 guitars on the wall, bro, and you know that all of us, you know, we're musicians. We know how to play. Right. And
we know what good music sounds like. And to be honest, there are some freaking beautiful voices here on Guam, and some, you know, raw talent. I'll call him out, dude. Imani. That girl can sing, dude.
I don't think I've ever met her.
She's I think she's just graduated from Southern High.
Okay.
She's the one that sings Senguaizahao Guahan.
Okay.
That girl, I'm honest, bro. That Chamorro remake they did this year was incredible, dude.
Yeah.
It was incredible to see them do something like that. Take an old classic, reinvent it, and make it theirs. Like, okay, that's not covering, guys. That's
Right.
doing it justice. Like, that's doing something next level.
Right.
And it was amazing to see Gef Pagu arrange music, dude, and record it and freaking get out there. And so there's a start, right? So
Right.
people are there. And so what I encourage everyone to do, you know, because right now I think that I'm in a position to like provide this advice because I know what it takes to be on the road, and I know what it takes to make it in the music industry because I work with these people day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
We travel 30,000 miles together on the same tour, and I work with these guys, and I know what works. And I'm just all I encourage people on Guam to do is stop playing covers. You guys can write your own original music. Take a look at how people have done it. Take a look at the songs that you love the most and figure it out.
Yeah.
Arrange the music. Find someone that can record it for you. RJ Pereira has a studio in Sinahanya, and he's from Four Piece Band, and he's probably one of the best people to record your tracks.
Even Doug Chan, his studio. Jordan Hardy's running it right now.
Dude, we've worked with them as well.
Yeah.
Doug Chan, phenomenal what he does, and also Jordan Hardy. That's Binary. Is that Binary?
Binary Sunset.
Binary Sunset. Those guys.
And Hannah, I think is her name.
We see you guys. We see what you're doing, and so that's what that's my advice, dude. Get out there, stop playing covers, and make a band. Make a band. You guys need a bassist. You guys need a keyboardist. You guys need a guitarist. You need a drummer, and you need a lead singer. You know what it takes. You've seen people do it.
Yeah.
And so just let go of the covers, guys. Like, I know it makes you money, and I know you're out there making.
And it's the easiest thing to play.
It's the easiest thing to play.
No.
And like everyone would do it. If it was easy to write original music that people like, but. What I'm trying to say is the talent here on Guam is good enough.
Right.
You guys are good enough to make it.
Agreed.
And there's so many kids behind you.
Just like I was telling Matt Sablan, it's like, dude, when's the album coming out? The original album. I'm ready for you. I've been ready for you. It's like, I was like, have someone write a song for you. Every Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, they all have writers.
Yeah,
for them,
dude. No,
Michael Jackson,
dude.
Quincy Jones was a famous freaking songwriter. For
Jermaine Dupri wrote a lot of Mariah Carey stuff, like and their beats, and like, and Neo ghostwrites a whole bunch. Bruno Mars ghostwrites for Adele.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Bruno Mars wrote "All I Ask," I think.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
He sings a cover of it. He wrote that song for her. So if a kid from Hawaii can write a song for a British freaking pop star, I mean, go and dream it up.
Right.
Go and dream it up and do it.
Yeah.
If you want something, get a notebook, and when you have those thoughts, sit down and write them down.
Yeah.
Write them down, because someday if you manage to sing those lyrics to where someone can connect with you, you never know. You could be a platinum recording artist. Dude, Pia Mia is jamming, bruh.
Right. Yeah, she is.
Pia Mia is jamming out
there. She's connecting with a lot of people
and
out there.
Dude, she's on songs with Chris Brown, Tyga, freaking Jesus Christ. She hangs out with the Kardashians, bro. Like, come on, guys. It's out there for us, bro. People in the States aren't that much cooler than us. They're really not, bro.
We're all human when it comes down to it, right?
We
all shit. We all piss. We all get sick.
Hey, dude, I'll tell you that much right now, bro. I've hung out with freaking the who's who of the reggae world, and you know what they don't like? They don't like when you fangirl out on them, bro. They like it more when you're just a regular cool dude from the island that just wants to kick back real quick and just have a moment with you and talk and connect and figure out, where and what we can do together. And
how do we relate? On the level, right?
How do we relate? And you'd be surprised, man. So I'm gonna leave everyone with that. And,
dude. Before we go off of that, Jared Pastones, he goes, dude, one thing I never do is look at somebody like they're better than me.
Mm-hmm.
I always look at everybody on an equal playing level. That's why I'm able to talk to certain people and not be afraid to talk to them, even though deep inside I want to be like, fuck yeah, I can't believe I'm talking to you right now. But it's you got to hold your composure, and that's what really makes you credible as a person.
Yep.
I mean, I really wanted to be like, oh, Zach Banner, oh shit, I can't believe this and that and this and that, but had him, came down, sat down, had a casual conversation with him,
leveled up,
and boom, like that. He's like, I'm coming next time I come. I'm coming back.
Exactly. And that's how the world works, brother. It's just, I noticed that, man. Just be cool to everyone.
Be genuine.
Genuine, dude.
Yeah.
That counts the most.
Right. I mean, don't put on a face out there to make everybody seem like you're a cool person. Just be a cool person. Just be okay with being you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a problem too, right? Because social media kind of puts on this persona that everybody is sort of better than they really are.
Everyone's profile is them living their best life.
Right.
Here I am. It's me living my best life. Like no one ever, you know.
Lucky we live Guam.
Yeah, lucky.
I'm at the beach again.
No one's like, here I am doing my dirty laundry. Right? Like, look at this striper underwear from my son. Right? No one's gonna say, you know. Hey, the pretty things is all that matters to some people, and that's where it's at, bro. There's beauty in the struggle, bro.
Right, and
there's beauty in the struggle, and honestly, to be faced with problems, honestly, count your blessings first, and then figure out what kind of problems you have, because at the end of the day, you know,
it's probably nothing.
It's nothing, bro. And I've come to realize that myself, bro. I'm like, I try not to be a martyr and find a sword to fall on. You know what I mean? Like I try to like see myself out of a lot of situations, and I you know, some people aren't mentally.
Joe said it best to me, bro. Your brother. He said it best to me. He goes, man, if aliens were to come by and look at us and see the shit that we're complaining about, maybe that's why we've never come in contact with them, because them motherfuckers just fly by. They're like, fuck those guys.
The fuck's that guy doing right there, dude? Yeah, for sure, dude.
That guy's complaining about what?
Oh, come on. He'll never drive the GPS of the spaceship, right? He'll never get it. He needs Siri. Right?
UPS, Universal Positioning System.
Dude, it's crazy. You know, last night we were shooting the Blood Moon. Maybe not. The next time I come back to talk to you, that'll be. I want to bring in Jared and
definitely
John Barber.
Yeah.
We'll talk about photography, and we'll talk about that kind of
side. Jared seems like a very interesting guy. Dude, even Barber, man. Barber's on his own different level, huh?
Dude, I'm telling you, those guys.
Someone asked me like, "What does John Barber do?" I was like, well, according to social media, it looks like he travels a lot, you know, and he goes and surfs and stuff. But he's pretty busy, huh?
John
sells fish to the co-op, and
he sells his fish to Moses, bro. Huh?
Really?
When you order all that fish at Moses, you're eating the shit that John caught, bro.
On his canoe?
On his fucking kayak. Yeah. That guy pulled in a 98 pound shellfish on his kayak.
Was that you, Bet?
Yeah,
him and Ambrosio.
Yeah, so
helped John bring it on.
So, you know, next time we come in, you know, we'll talk with John and Jared.
Hell yeah.
You know, in the last couple years, I've learned a lot from those dudes. Just like, you know, me venturing away. Like, I started to like look into myself and be like, what can I do? What can I do to change? What can I do to be a better photographer? What can I do to, you know, up my media game, up my, you know, my video work? Like, just like look at the world differently. And since I started hanging out with those two, it's been unreal, dude. Like, my pictures went from being cool to like freaking epic, bro. You know, like in a matter of no time. Yeah, I'm on your wall. It's crazy, dude. And so I want those guys to like kind of share what it takes to be behind the lens.
For sure.
Why we do the things we do. And, you know, like we live by this motto, bro. If we're not where the wild things are, we're never going to get the picture that's going to change our lives, you know. And so we are the type of dudes that will hike into the jungle at 5 a.m. to catch the sunrise, bro, in the middle of the dark, you know.
Yeah.
And we are the people that will stay past sunset so that we can wait for the light pollution to die down, and so we can see the stars and freaking capture that. And we are the crazy kids that you see out at boat basins swimming with no board and fins and a camera in our hands
and getting smashed by waves
on the most cuxica day, trying to get barreled and trying to, you know, capture our friends and my brothers, you know, freaking surfing and getting barreled. And that right there has pushed us to, you know, freaking live a crazy life. And I think the way that we live the islands is kind of the way that people want their Instagram to be, you know. And it's not like that, bro.
Right.
Like,
you have to actually go out there.
Yeah, to get that, you got to go out and get it. And so that'll be a whole nother subject when we come in. And I'm so stoked on when you get to talk to these two dudes, because you're going to freak out, bro. Jared is so passionate about what he does. And that guy is like, even to the point where he won't shoot pictures for a resort, knowing if the resort's going to sell out someday to, you know, to the man. He's just not down. You know what I mean? Like, and I respect him freaking so much for that. And I respect the passion that these dudes have for for getting behind the lens and letting the picture tell the story.
Well, it's their life, right?
Yeah.
Lifestyle.
What was the boat that came in? the big, huge boat, the Ikenos, or the Hawaiian one that came in and boat?
Akianos.
Akianos.
Yeah.
Dude, you know those guys got a picture of the Akianos when they were kayak fishing?
No way.
Yeah, they got it out on the water, bro, coming in, and they never showed anyone. And they showed me, and I was like, leche, bro. I was like,
how far are you guys?
This picture is history, dude. And they're like, yeah, I know. And I was like, this is a fucking rad picture, dude. Like, the Akianos, like, from the water strolling in. You know, all the other pictures are land-based. Yeah. And they were out on the water, and, you know, that just goes to show, man. Like, those guys are out there, dude. They're doing it, man. And that's, you know, that you can stay at home, and you can play your PlayStation. You can be complacent. You can do whatever you do, the same exact thing every other day. And before you know
can
it,
Netflix and chill all the time.
Yep. And before you know it, 4 years is gonna fly by. Hey, look, dude, we started the podcast 3 years ago, and 3 years flew by, and I still feel like maybe it was just last year that we started that, and freaking, you know, it wasn't that long ago, man.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised how fast years fly by, and so
it's flew by fast. I was just telling Kai, I was like, can you believe 3 years ago you had the launch party?
Dude, I still remember when she texted me like, "Hey, I want to throw Boo a little party." Like,
and we weren't even official.
Yeah,
because even Matt was like, "Wait, what are you guys?"
Yeah. Truthfully, bro. Remember, and I even told you that day. I was like, "Dude, you got a good one, bro. Hold on to this." Yeah. And I even had to try to hide the part.
Well, it's been 3 years, and she's still holding on. You know? Yeah. So
something's right. Something's right around here. Yeah. You seem like you got a lot going good for you, man. And
thanks.
Stay up, bro. Stay blessed. And
yeah, you too, bro. You know. I think, like I said, our paths will cross again to where we'll be working creatively with each other.
Hey, maybe this summer, man. I'm trying to go back to the States, do these 2 tours, and up my certifications myself.
Yeah.
And try to open up my own business coming up, and then I'll have a lot more time for media and photography and video. And
for sure,
a lot of people have been asking us to pick up contracts with them right now, and unfortunately we didn't have enough time for everybody, and so we're gonna come back around and get to it as soon as we can. And someone's out there, buy me a A7R3, I promise you I would.
Put that in the contract.
No, I'm just joking, dude. I'll work hard enough to get it, but hey, thanks, Boo.
Yeah, thank you, Bo. You want to put anything out, anything you like, bro? This is your chance. The floor is yours.
Thanks to you, first of all. Happy for you in the show. Freaking keep trucking, man. 132. I already know in my head you're gonna have the YouTube channel and be like Joe Rogan number 954. You know, when you're gonna get Hicks and Gracie and whatever you need, you're gonna get all those people coming for you. Thanks to 4-Piece. Thanks boys. I appreciate rolling with you guys. I appreciate the struggle. I appreciate everything I've learned on the freaking road with you guys, and that's my unit. No one else. Fast 5. We're going. This is us. SD Hammy. We're going together, guys.
Hell yeah.
All the way. Trench Vest boys. Freaking, you guys put us on, and now we took what you guys, gave us and made it something that none of us ever thought we would do. But grateful for everything those guys have done for us. Calibus, everyone that sponsors us. Show You Roll, Fuckeye, freaking Opaque boys are on board with us. Stoked to have those guys. Thanks to everybody out in the States that houses us and lets us come through. That's me.
I think that's me. How rude of me. Hey, grab my phone. Grab my phone and shut it.
It's over there. Sorry, guys. But, yeah, thanks.
Bring it over. If it's mine, bring it over here.
Well, that's
no, never mind.
It's mine.
Yeah, bro. Sorry.
It's okay. It's Kiko. My bad. I forgot to put my phone on silent. But, yeah, just wanted to give credit where it's due, man. And thanks to everyone. Thanks to Dono. I see you, brother, working hard. Max and everybody out in the States that helps us out, trucking on the reggae road for Guam. This is for Guam, bro. We ain't doing it for anyone else.
Yeah,
we're doing it for ourselves and for our passion for music and for the better progression of all the Chamorros here and all the young kids. And if you're not even Chamorro, if you're Gumanian, bro, we believe in you. We believe the talent in this place and what kind of musical talent that Guam has, and we know there's more out there, so we're trying to nurture that. We're trying to set an example for that, and frick, dude, that's really what we're about. And everything will kind of come together, and it'll take a lot of hard work, but we'll be there eventually. And man, thank you to who else do I need to shout out, man? That's pretty much everyone who I can think of right on the top of my head that, you know, I need to say that you guys helped me out, and that was pretty much it. So
for sure.
Yep.
Thank you, Bo.
No,
Before we end here, I just want to thank you for the 10 months prior to recording episode 1, where I was feeling nervous, feeling like I couldn't do it, and you just said, dude, what the fuck, let's do this. And you sat through 13 to 15 episodes, I believe, with me, and we pushed through, bro. And if it wasn't for you to just sort of push me along the way, wouldn't be at 132 episodes.
Hey,
wouldn't be here 3 years later.
It was your good idea, and you got the right team together, and it was the right team at the launch to get you through that first phase. And I wish I would have stuck around a little longer, but I always knew that there was always going to be a future, so I was never scared to come back to it. And I kind of like put that foresight out there to kind of like, you know, manifest certain things for you, and it came, man. And it's good to see. And thank you, bro. You're welcome for freaking everything. And I don't even think that I should tell you that, because it's like we're boys, dude. And that's what we do, man. And
for sure.
And to, like I said earlier, I like to see people come up. I love to see my friends come up, and I like to see people on Guam doing bigger, better things, and show, you know, respect and credit where it's due. So freaking, dude, I think you're doing a freaking awesome job.
Thank you.
And I'm so impressed by the level of talent and the content that you're bringing to the show now, and what you got going for you. And so I just encourage you to not be complacent and keep finding more.
Never.
Don't be complacent and
forwards ever, right?
Forwards ever, man.
Forwards ever.
We live by that.
You know, Matty B and B Wizzle, Brian over here, when they jumped on board in October, I said it's not going to be easy. I mean, it's not even going to be, you're not even going to make, maybe not even make any money in the beginning, but I promise you, we stick through this journey, we're going to make it out in the end.
No, dude, no one ever has money in the beginning, bro.
Yeah.
And I think they said the average entrepreneur fails twice before they hit their big project. And luckily for you, you know, you haven't hit that yet.
Well, I tried music, so that was one failed project. But anyways, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here, man.
Thank you if you're joining us on Facebook. I don't know if there's anyone watching on Facebook. Yeah. Thank you for watching on Facebook. Bo Santos on the podcast once again for, man, it's been a long time, over 100 episodes, man. And you know, he's here back again, and we talked shit, and we talked life, and we talked how to progress forward forever. As long as we live, we always have to be progressing forever. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you're listening on the audio, thank you for downloading. Don't forget to rate the podcast. Support us on Patreon if you like. Exclusive video content for people who are $5 and above. Yeah, we'll figure it all out. It's all a learning journey. Thank you, everybody. Peace out.
Shoots.